It takes 3 days to prepare for the trip to make sure everything is in place. And then it's a 24-hour drive one way.
Gone into the war zone, a Michigan man didn't hesitate to go help Ukrainian refugees amid the war.
Casey Cronus is live with more as that man returns home tonight. Casey.
Anthony and Dawn, no stranger to humanitarian work. That Niles, Michigan man just returned to O'Hare from overseas, where he drove more than 60 hours to transport Ukrainian refugees to safety. John T. Boston II returned to the States this evening, greeted by his wife and daughter, Riley. Last week, he traveled to Munich, Germany, where he loaded up a vehicle with humanitarian aid items and supplies and made his way to Suceava, Romania. The drive there about 24 hours long. Once he arrived, he crossed into Ukraine, where he assisted mothers and children desperate to flee their war-torn country. The trip back, he says, took longer. Boston drove about 35 hours, moving 4 families to safety. Behind his vehicle was a larger bus with dozens more refugees. All of them will now be placed with host families in Germany.
And human trafficking is such a serious issue. People are being taken advantage of even as they try to traverse Ukraine. And so by the time they get all the way to the west, to the border of Romania, they've been exposed to all types of things. One mother, she had been awake for almost 70 hours, and she was afraid to go to sleep on the ride. And finally, when we crossed the Hungarian border, because there is some tension there with the Ukrainians, when we crossed the Hungarian border, she finally fell asleep, and it was just so rewarding to see her take a rest.
Boston tells us his own daughter, who is 10 years old, was his inspiration to do this important work. And he says he's not done yet. He does plan to head back overseas at some point soon. Live from O'Hare, Casey Cronus, Fox 32, Chicago.